to another episode of the Angler's Prescription with me and my fellow partner in crime, my buddy, old Babyface Jones. How you doing, Shane?
I'm good. How are you, man?
Good, man.
Yeah. What do you have? What do you do all weekend?
Work and nothing.
Yeah.
So, yep, I didn't do much. I had to work Saturday. Unfortunately, I did not get to go donate money to the guy we're going to have on here in a little bit. So, but we got some fishing going on this weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget the food allergy tournament at New Maloney's.
Yep.
Excuse me. Is this weekend?
Get signed up.
Even if you don't want to fish it, sign up, donate to it. It's a good cause.
Yeah, great cause. Dean and Michael always put on a great event. It's like one of my most favorite events really to look forward to each year. It's just a laid back event. Just go out. I mean, it's a tournament, but you just go out and have a blast. They got a silent auction there at the end. They got like a flipping contest and food, drinks. I mean, it's just a great event to show up and just have a blast.
Heck yeah.
So,
how's it going, Max? Thanks for joining, buddy.
What is up, Max?
So yeah, guys, don't forget Headwaters. Check out the shop if you guys are in need for a kayak, accessories, anything. They do ship. They'll even ship you a kayak if you want it. So don't forget about that. Also, hookedforlife.com, hooked44. Get yourself a 10% discount and enjoy some cheaper tackle. We all use it. We all go through it. Give Jay some love up there. You guys are going up to Party. Stop by, say hi to him. Check out the shop.
Matter of fact, I just got off the phone with him, and he just got quite a few an order in from St. Croix rods. So
yeah, he's got a deal with St. Croix now, so he can he's carrying them, or he can order them for you.
Yep, factory direct. So yeah, looking forward to it. I've got a rod I think in the mix, and can't wait to get it out on the water. So with some new 7 reels. So
yeah, Sean, I drove over 3 hours to get my yak at Headwaters. Yes, sir. I did the same thing, not once but twice. So
same here.
Yep,
I've done it once.
But thank God they have the shop here in Rancho, so we don't have to make the 2.5. I'll still make the 2.5 hour drive to go San Brian, but you guys are looking for something local up here in Rancho Cordova, there is the second location. And if they don't have it there and they got it up at Redding, Brian will get it down to the shop down here. So with that being said, if he stops roaming around in his room and being lost in the cause, we'll get Robert on here in a little bit. But yeah, man, you had an exciting weekend with your son's basketball tournament out in Vegas.
Yeah, we were out there. We left last Wednesday. Just got back yesterday afternoon and had a blast. It was great exposure for my son and his team. And, we played hard, but, they're still young. They're still learning. So next year is going to be quite a change. The 15-year-olds are going to be turning 16. They're going to be getting bigger and stronger, and it should be fun. So
you posted a picture of you standing next to your boy the other day, and man, I didn't realize how tall he was. It made you look like a midget. You're not a short guy.
I'm as wide as he is tall, and I'm trying to make a change on that. But yeah, no, he's 6'7.5", and just he's growing. I mean, he's just. I'd like to see if he could get a little thicker, but that'll come in time. He's still young. He's 15, so we'll see. But yeah, Vegas was hot. I think anywhere from 109 to 114, and got off the plane yesterday and still hot. So
Heck yeah. So,
but
Robert, give me a nod if you're ready, bud. I know you got a co-host there with you. Are you good? All right. Let's bring in old Robert Yamamoto. What's up, buddy?
What's up? I didn't know you could see me the whole time.
Oh yeah, I got a little screen on the side. I can spy on you.
James can spy on you even when your computer's not on. So watch
I see.
out.
I was like, how did he see me? I didn't even click accept to get on or anything like that. That's funny.
Yeah, no, it pops up in a bubble and you're kind of grayed out. And,
when I work when the whole COVID thing, when we had Zoom appearances and stuff like that, because I'm in court all the time, there was some mishaps when
I bet.
when on Zoom.
What do you do for work?
I'm a defense attorney.
Oh, nice.
Oh, interesting.
I did not know that.
I was going to say.
We know who to call now if any of you guys get in trouble.
Yeah.
Call the old drop shot princess. There you go.
Yeah.
Man, well, you're on the show earlier this year because you did pull out a win at McClure.
Yeah.
Drop shot in your way to victory.
Yep.
And then you decided to follow that up with a win for the Bass 559 TOC the weekend before last.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get into that one because you had an exciting way to end that one. I've been pumping it up, man. You caught this 10-pounder in like this crazy way. So you got to fill us in on this. Fill us in on the full tournament on that one.
Man, it was a rough event. We had just had a CVKF tournament the day before, that Saturday. So weird weather that weekend. I'm not sure if you guys were out or if it was cloudy and storming on you guys, but that weekend, success, it was like raining, thunderstorming, and it was a tough bite. I think I barely managed the limit, and I lost a bunch of fish. So I had that mentality of like, man, I gotta stop losing fish that would have won me the tournament. So I going to Eastman, and it was a smaller field. It was only probably a little bit over 10, but you got to qualify to get in that TOC because we had a $900 rollover pot, which was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I don't have that much confidence in Eastman. You guys probably heard about Eastman because guys like Max and Damien, that's where they catch all their 10-pounders. And I know Taz done really good there. So
I got a story about Eastman. I'll tell you after you guys are.
Yeah, when it gets low and those big ones don't have nowhere to go, they're really predictable, but it's still tough. I mean, This is my first 10-pounder there, or anywhere. It's my biggest fish, but that lake, I didn't have that much confidence because I still had to compete against, Taz, Max, and all the David Morris is really good at that. Like between February and like summertime, that guy always comes up with like 90 plus inches every time we go to Eastman. So I didn't have high hopes. John Myers unfortunately couldn't fish that event, and he qualified, and he's also a stick at that lake too.
Let's speaking about John, I didn't talk with him today. Him and I've been texting, but he's doing all right.
That's good.
He's hoping to be on the mend really soon. So he's just waiting for something to happen, and once that happens, he should be up on the up and up. He's in good spirits, man. He's still got his humor. So
is it true he was having a front-facing sonar implant put in, and like it's like right in his eyes? And no, okay, am I way off? Okay.
I don't think he'd be dealing with what he's dealing with just for that right now. But no, he's doing good. John, I know he's going to try to hop on and listen tonight. But we're hoping.
We love you, John.
We're hoping, we're praying we get John back here very soon, back on the show.
Yeah. So that was cool that what Yak-A-Bass did. Shout out him in the morning. And he actually gave me a text that morning. I felt special. I was like, oh, man, this event's all about John, and he's wishing me luck in the morning. So that kind of built up my confidence a little bit. But that Eastman tournament, when we launched, you can literally see all the thunderstorms and lightning. So I was like kind of nervous because I don't think I've ever gone out when it's been that bad. So I was like hugging the shoreline, and I was reaching for my rods. They were all buzzing, so I like grabbed my first topwater rod, and it literally shocked me. And I was like, oh, so I just sat in my kayak and I got on my phone and I was texting the group chat because 559 League's a small circuit, and Kong messages everyone on Facebook and stuff. So I texted everyone. I was like, yo, maybe it's God's sign not to the topwater today, because I just got the hell shocked out of my hands. And, there was some concerns. He even was thinking about, trying to get a vote to see if he wanted to cancel that event. Luckily, he didn't, because, that would have sucked. But
Yeah.
he was asking the guys, and, it's Eastman, so no one has phone service anyway. So I don't think any of the guys even saw it. So I just, just grabbed whatever rod that was next to me, which is my drop shot rod, and I just went across the bank, and I couldn't catch any fish. Honestly, it was tough. You would think it was cloudy, they'd be shallow, and you'd be able to catch them on anything you want. But it was a tough tournament. So once the light's cloudy, I'm sorry, and I finally crossed the lake and went to the point. I know there's always fish because Eastman's one of my home lakes. I'm from the Fresno area, so I know that lake pretty well since I fished it my whole life. So I went to a point where I know I can always catch fish. So I ended up catching a 17-incher and then the 12-incher, and then that area just died up when the sun came out. And then I fished around the usual boulders. I ran into David Morris, and that guy only had 2 fish too, and I was like, yeah, if he only has 2 fish, I'm just going to keep the drop shot in my hand, because I cranked in the morning. I spinnerbaited when the wind was up, and they were not wanting to cooperate. So I was afraid, because that lake, no one has reception, so you don't know how well anyone else is doing. And then you're just worried because you have so many, even though the field's not that big, you had a lot of good anglers in that TOC. So I was just like, I need to catch 90 inches just to compete, I think. So I know all the big fish usually hug up on big boulders in that lake. There's giant boulders everywhere. And I went to the biggest rock I can see visually, because the water got so low. And I saw a little drop off, and there was tons of just marks all over the place. And there's not that much bait fish and stuff like that in Eastman. I know there's crappie, a lot of carp and stuff like that. So I cast it over there, and I caught a bunch of little fish. I backed up a little bit, and this is like the last hour, and then I just feel a tug, and I did a little reel set, and man, I just felt the weight of that 10-pounder, and I just knew, and I was like, oh my God, do not lose this fish. So I posted the video online. You guys can check it out. So I just gave that fish as much drag as I wanted, because I was fishing that drop shot setup the whole day, and I'm pretty sure there was like tings in the line and stuff. So it took me a while.
Retie?
I mean, I broke off like 20 times, but I still was questionable about the line. So I let that fish go on and do its thing and swim. I was checking my graph to make sure there was no secret trees under me that it can swim to. So I let it tire itself out, and then, man, when it came up, I just knew it was a 10-pounder, and it was one of those things where it's like a tournament. You catch your PB, you catch a DD, and it all happened the same day, and I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. They said you caught that one within like 20 minutes to go?
Yeah, about last 20, 30 minutes.
Nice. Well,
yeah, I had a limit. I mean, the limit got you a far way. I probably would have been in the top 3 with the limit anyways, because it was fishing so tough. That's why it's so crazy about it.
yeah, so that was a coal fish then.
Yeah, that was a cool fish. I had a 12-incher, I think, still in my photo somewhere.
Nothing like a 13.5-inch coal.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, man.
Has there been an actual 10-pounder caught during a tournament out here in the mother lode area?
I don't know. James is
Fresno?
in the comments.
I can't recall. I mean, I know there's been plenty of like 8-pounders caught, but I don't know.
I don't remember
if there's,
seeing a 25-inch fish on.
I
board.
don't in a live tournament, not a month long. I mean, I'm sure that's happened, but that's a pretty big feat right there. I'll tell you.
We'll just say I'm the first one, and I'll write it down somewhere and put it on.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but I know that probably the monthly guys have done it.
Oh, the
Like,
monthly.
like Bob,
Oh.
Bob, Max,
Yeah,
and Taz,
month
they
long.
put up probably some big
We
10
don't
pounds.
want to talk about Max. Always hyping Eastman. He didn't even win it out there. Like, come on, Max.
But I mean, his fish weren't there, but I know if any other day of the week, I'm gonna lose to him.
Yeah. Max said he thinks Morgan may have had a 10-pounder on the Delta last year. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
remember.
I mean, I'm just trying to think. Like the last time he might have. I don't know if Morgan's on. Maybe he'll let us know. But
No one
I'm
believes
not
it was a
sure.
10-pounder because I used a Guggen scale too, but it was. I gave it 3 tries and it was over 10 every time. It just wasn't the
well, I
exact.
heard those Googans add like I think an extra like 2 pounds just because it is a Guggen scale.
Yeah.
Did you catch it on a Guggen worm too?
No. My secret zoom worm, my
Your
affordable
secret-
zoom worms.
Your secret zoom worm.
Yeah. I go through so much worms that I used to use robo worms and then I got cheaper and I started using zoom worms and I was like, these work just as good, and actually became my confidence worm.
Hey,
That's funny. Rovers are still pretty cheap though.
Yeah. I noticed they actually, when they come off, they float and you can grab them with your net, but sometimes the zoom worms, they'll like just rip pretty easily. So I mean,
Yeah.
well, and plus with those Zoom worms, you get almost 20 per pack too.
that's what I
know?
like about them. I went through 3
Yeah.
packs at the Delta.
How many?
3.
3 packs?
Yeah, I caught a lot of fish.
Oh my god. So the 10 pounder, that was your last fish of the day, right?
Correct. Yep.
And you got no idea what the leaderboard was. You couldn't
No,
watch.
honestly, the last 15 minutes, I was just looking at photos like in disbelief. So I
Were
didn't actually
Were
make
you yelling when you landed her?
Man, I think I was more in shock. I was more worried because, all those flashbacks of big fish you lose in the past, those were all haunting me because I just lost big fish the day before its success. And at the West Coast Championship at Clear Lake, I actually lost a giant on one of those shoal rocks the last hour, and that would have probably almost been big fish. And that was haunting me the whole fight in the fish. I was like, in my head, I was like, please don't come off. Please don't come off. Please don't come off.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was a 10-pounder.
Now,
What
were
you're
you breaking?
saying is you're going to drop shot your way from the southern border of California to the northern and
Exactly.
start winning tournaments everywhere. And a funny thing is, man, like me and my buddy, we were both working Saturday, and we're talking about the Delta. What do you think it's going to take to win? Who do you think is going to win it? I was like, man, like we talked about on the show last week, 92 to 94 is what we figured it would take to win. And
yeah,
I'm looking at. I know Pua fished it, but for some reason I didn't see his name on the list.
No, he's under an alias.
Is he?
Yeah, some young guy.
Yeah, Sung Young guy.
Oh, jeez. I got you. No wonder I couldn't.
He's got a new identity.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
I figured that one out today when I was looking at who had signed up for the allergy tournament. I'm like, who's this dude? And then I saw an implanted face on a body, and I'm like, all right, that's got to be Pua.
Yeah, I didn't look that close, obviously. But and I'm looking. You got Max. Because I know he went out fishing with Pua a little bit before that, a couple weeks ago. Damien's always out there. Sean's Ladom's been out there catching like crazy.
Yeah.
Sean
said he caught one of those bridge fish I caught in pre-fish.
Oh, that's funny.
And the bridge was in the background. I was like, I didn't even notice that, but I know they're there.
At 2022, 25 inch was caught at Maloney's. Okay. Cool. And then, I'm looking through the names, and we're just it's all in alphabetical order when you look at it on the internet. And I see Robert's name. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna throw a wild card out there. So no, Robert's gonna drop shot himself to the win on this weekend. And my buddy Curtis was laughing at me. He's like, "Oh, come on, man! It's a Delta. It'd be punching and frogging."
Yeah.
And then when I clicked on the awards, I was listening to it, and all of a sudden Sean calls your name. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" He did just drop shot his way to victory on the Delta.
It was honestly,
funny.
it should have been one punching and frogging. That's what where people were catching them on, but I heard they sprayed a lot of the stuff. So a lot of the guys, the local hammer, like even Pua's like area, he had to share it, and they possibly sprayed some of the areas too. So
Oh,
It was just one of those times where, fortunately, the grass was dying, and then where are they going to pull up? They
yeah.
went to the wood, the shade pocket. So I didn't even think of that, honestly, before the tournament. I was just trying to get in some shade too, because you know how hot it gets over there, and I kind of figured I knew I could catch some of them on the bridge though with the shade pockets. That was kind of my game plan at the end of the day, anyways. But man, I didn't think it was going to be like that.
So coming from Fresno, what made you decide to go all the way up to one of these northern-ish launches?
Because the Delta was the first Yak-A-Bass or kayak tournament I've ever done, and I'm from Fresno, so I don't venture out. I've never fished the Delta since that Yak-A-Bass tournament. I've only fished out of Paradise Point the one time where it was shotgun launch. So
Okay.
I'm only familiar with that little part of the Delta.
I got
So then Kings Island Marina is just a little north of that, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to avoid the crowds and just go a little bit north, and then I can come back to Awards, and it wouldn't be a far of a drive. So even though that ramp sucks, I prefer there. Yeah.
With the trailer, it really sucks.
Yeah, you have to angle it to the side and then go in. I'm just like, but I don't have a trailer. I didn't set up my trailer, so I just roll it down.
Yeah. I launched out of there, I think, 2 years ago. I was like, yeah, I can think of a few other launches I'd rather put in than that stupid ramp.
Yeah, I've seen bass boats try to go down. I was like, just go to Paradise Point. It's easier, and you can just go boom, boom, in. But.
Yeah. So you get out there, right? And I know you were talking about the awards. You made a run. You went away from the ramp, right? Did you head down towards like Disappointment Slough, or did you head up towards Tower?
Towards Tower. So you get out. I think it's towards Tower. I went left and towards the San Joaquin River. Is that towards Tower?
Mm-hmm.
So I went that way.
If you launch and you go left, that's going down south towards Disappointment. Hang a right.
Oh yeah, I went down Disappointment like White Slough.
Yeah.
And then I went that way, and usually I'll just hit the little tips of those, the middle of the Thule points and stuff like that, and I'll usually catch them on like drop shot or top water. Usually I did really well on the Whopper Plopper or Chapo, but I could not get any top water bites. I was like, man, and I'll check. There's good service there, so I know people are catching them on top water early on, and you see the bigger fish, but I couldn't get them. I got some on a fluke, just like killing it, like working it, killing it. I caught a lot of them, but they would be like 8-10 inch little bass.
Yeah, so I went out of Tower Park 4th of July weekend, and I mean I think it was like a 20 fish day, but I mean my best 5 only went like just shy of 80 inches, and I mean I fished probably 3/4 of the way back down towards Kings.
Yeah,
I was pretty close to the bridge. I never made it that far, and you know, just the mats weren't there. Like it was not a whole lot to punch. There's some really big cheese mats.
Yeah.
And they went for a while, but that was it, man. Like there was tules and wood pretty much, or any kind of hard structure you could find.
Yeah.
You know, between there, but.
The tide got so low. Like I was catching them on a Texas rig, same Zoom finesse worm though, just on a 5/16, and I'd flip it, and it felt like I was fishing so shallow, like in a foot of water every time, and then the grass wasn't healthy. It was all clumped out and brown and dead, and I just felt like I was flipping dead stuff. They were still fishing it, but I was like, this doesn't feel like I'm gonna catch winning fish here, so I just booked it.
Hey, you guys had a really good time, I think. I remember because I went out. So it was 2 weeks prior to the tournament. It was pretty close to the same tide, and I remember looking at it because I wanted to fish last weekend, but I had to work, and I was like, man, that was a really good tide, and I kind of knew where I wanted to go. And then after it's all said and done, I'm starting to hear people talking like, oh yeah, so and so, this guy, that guy. They're all down on the ramp that you wanted to go to, and they're all within they're all in the top 10. It's like. Oh, man. Of course. I think Sean was down there.
all the big hitters were in a certain area on that Delta.
Yeah, it was Sean, Gilbert, Dang, I think Greg might have even been down there.
Yeah.
It was funny hearing about that. I was like, oh, I guess that spot's still pretty good right now.
Yeah, that means you had to fight off everyone though.
Yeah, well, I mean, fortunately, I had to fish it, but
Yeah.
yeah, man. So you got tired of catching dinks and you were seeking shade. Were you
Yeah.
on your way back to the ramp to say screw it, or were you on the way back to the ramp just to kind of rethink and regather your thoughts?
Both. I was gonna just try to go down. If there was nothing in the pilings, I was just gonna try to go down and fish the other area towards the main river that way. But I didn't. I kind of was defeated, to be honest. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm just trying to catch up to Sean in points. I was like, I just need to catch a decent limit. And then I saw he was way up there. I was like, oh, it's over. That guy's always doing good, and he needs to drop like 20 points the next 2 tournaments for us other guys on the bottom to have a chance for that AOI.
Yeah. So you get to the bridge, you're seeking shade. Do you run live scope or no?
No, I got it, but I haven't set it up. And I mean, I talked to Damon. That guy didn't even bring a graph at the Delta, so I was just like, "This is not the type of tournament I'm going to bring." I set up live scope.
No, I mean, dude, I used to catch drop shot fish on like the 2D pretty good.
Yeah.
Man, once I put live scope on my boat, like I'm lucky if I can catch fish on a drop shot anymore. It's so stupid. I don't get it. I mean, they should eat it just the same. I do catch them, but it's like my my drop shot on now is just a finesse swim bait or something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same for me. I might have thrown drop shot 1 or 2 times this year.
Yeah, I like the old school. I like that blind cast. I don't know what's there, but I think there's a fish there.
Yeah.
When you're live scope, you know there's not a fish there, but you can go and make them eat with the little even finesse swim bait. I think you can fish faster that way too. But the thing is, my kayak is so slow. I have an Old Town, you know, and even with the XI3, I'm not even maybe 4 miles per hour. So I have to really pick apart all my areas. So I'm usually not fishing fast. I pick an area and I force those fish to eat. So it's either they're gonna eat it or I'm gonna be screwed.
Yeah, for sure. So you get there, you're looking at the shade. Did you were you checking the graph on the bridge pilings while you're sitting there getting a break, or did you start throwing randomly?
So cool about it is so there's a bridge and then there's all these other pilings, right? So I would just seriously standing and I can see bluegill, small bass, even like good 15, 16-inch bass, all just chilling under the shade. You can literally see them. And I would just flip into I couldn't see the bigger fish, but I was just like flipping in the darkest shade pockets, and you just feel the tunk or you just see your line dart off and just start reeling. I just reel set most of my drop shot fish, and it was just some of those fish came out to be the winning fish, and it was just crazy.
Nice.
But I caught a striper there, near there, under the docks where there was like some pipes and the inflow of water coming in. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that dock area, but I caught giant bluegill there. So there was a collection of all the species there in that area. There was tons of bait fish. So it was just a really fishy area at that time.
Yeah, for sure. You hit it right tide, right spot.
Yeah.
Everything. So that's awesome. You're headed up to Clear Lake, right? Next weekend?
I hope
Not
so.
next weekend,
We'll
but
see.
next
I
month.
might have gave up fishing to stay home for a little bit because there was a lot of fishing these last couple weeks. I do really want to fish Clear Lake though, so I plan on it, but we'll see.
Hey, you just got to tell Mama, look, dude, I've cut 3 checks this year. Like,
Right?
I'm bringing in the money, you know.
Just go buy her a YSL purse, or that usually keeps them going.
Yeah,
a Prada, something.
If Snyder, you're still out there, what are they projecting the payday for this one? Is still that big 10 grand ish pot, or what are we talking about for the West Coast?
I don't know. It's just going to be a lot of entry fees though, because you got the West Coast.
You don't have to do them all.
Yeah, I know.
You can fish the West Coast, go Friday, Saturday, at home, but because that's what.
That's
you got the West Coast Championship Friday, Saturday. I do believe Lakeport's still doing theirs on that Friday, and then there's a Chris Laird on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I do not believe KBF's going to be there this year. I don't think
I
so.
doubt. I fished that the last time. There was only like 15 to 20 people signed up, or it was a low turnout, huh?
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually going to head up that way this weekend before it goes off limits.
Yeah. Talk to Joseph Tax, man. That guy and Matt Brandon been killing it there lately.
Yep. Yep. No, they're there's a BBT going on this weekend, so it's gonna be busy.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
They'll be on fire. They'll be on fire till the weekend we get there, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Man, it's gonna be a drop shot by." Look out for Robert, and I'm gonna be like, "No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do well. All my air is gonna be gross and unfishable, probably."
Yeah. No, dude. If you look at the weather, it is actually on a massive cooling trend. They're talking low 90s, upper 80s.
Oh, really?
After this week until the tournament, even during the tournament, they're talking. If you look at the weather forecaster is the only person that could be wrong in their job, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But there's a fire, James. There's a fire up there currently. Keep an eye if you're headed up that way. Okay, you know where it's at, James. So anyway, yeah, the weather's looking really good. I'm hoping that's gonna keep that algae kind of at bay.
Yeah,
it should. I hope so.
Because my area, I launched that Redbud, and my guides are all clogged up. My reels are clogged up.
It's nasty. Yeah. Yeah, I fished that Friday before the wild card event.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, if it's like this tomorrow, I didn't even launch there. I lost somewhere in the area.
Yeah.
But I hit a different spot, and I was lucky enough to, even when I did go back down towards that way.
Yeah.
The wind, it was just enough wind, and I was just far enough outside of that pocket.
Yeah.
To keep the algae at bay.
Yeah, that algae is going to be a big factor, because if some areas are just unfishable, even though Clear Lake's a big fish, me and the guys are talking about, that lake fish is kind of small. If you can only fish certain areas that are better water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All that gunk getting in your guides and makes it impossible.
It's dropping about a foot every 30 days right now.
Oh man.
So it's yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy. It will definitely be crazy by the time we get up there, because it'll be almost 2 feet lower, about a foot and a half lower than the bass event. But that'll also top out some of those grass mats probably, and hopefully do some good things. So
yeah. We'll see. We'll see how the California guys do. We gotta protect our lake, because those Oregon guys, they come in serious. Or the out of state guys, they come and do well too at their lake.
It sucks for us, right? Because we let's see, it kicks in and we get smoke in the sky. We'll kill off a lot. Yeah, we'll kill off a lot of algae. You're right, James. Anyway, it's like if I was traveling out of state for a tournament, I'm gonna take the week off. I'm gonna spend the whole week pre-fishing.
Yeah.
Us idiots down here, not idiots, but us guys that live down here are like, oh, dude, even for me, it's still 2 to 2.5 hour drive to get up there. And it's like, man, it makes a long day trip. It really does.
Yeah.
And, but I just, because we don't have to travel, it's like, I don't feel like it's hard to commit to take that time off with fishing local.
Yeah. Those guys come with fresh eyes too. They don't,
that's 100%
fresh eyes.
Sometimes it's just the best way to do it.
Yep.
We tend to overthink things. If it's a lake that we tend to fish, a couple times a year, or we're out there an awful lot, we tend to overthink things. And sometimes just showing up and just fishing just does the job. I mean.
Yep. Yeah.
But
exactly.
Don't discount the fact that a lot of those guys are great they're great fishermen
great
too.
anglers,
You know,
Yeah, if you're gonna travel that far, you probably know how to fish.
yeah.
Hey man, I traveled all the way to Oklahoma and apparently I forgot how to fish out there. So. Oh, dude, I tell you what, I had not broken off a fish in a long time.
Yeah.
And that trip to Oklahoma just started a downward spiral of breaking fish off, losing fish. It was so stupid.
It came down to all these wins came down to, man, if you land these fish, you'll do well. But I've had days like that where you break off every fish and you're like, what could have happened?
Yeah.
Or you think about it, it screws you up mentally, especially if it happens early in the morning or the day. Sometimes it'll just ruin your whole day.
But dude, usually, like when you win one, day's gonna start off right, and like that one small thing that could have gone terribly wrong, where it played in your favor, and you're like, dude, 9 times out of 10 that'll never happen for me.
Yeah.
You know, like when the party event, my first fish I landed, she jumped twice, came up out of 35 feet of water, and I finally got it in the net, and I barely touched my jig head, and it just goes right out. I was like, oh my God, Or you make the hour and a half run across the Almanor to go fish one 400-foot stretch of bank that you found, and there's a boat sitting on it.
Oh.
And you're like, dude, either I'm going to fish behind you or in front of you, so you pick. He's like, oh, go ahead and fish behind me, and he kind of hurried through the area I was fishing, and it worked out,
Yeah.
But, when it's your time, all those stupid little things just go right. It's crazy.
Yeah, everything's been going right the last couple tournaments. Yeah. I've been lucky.
Yeah, your cards are falling all in the right spot, I'll tell you.
Heck yeah. Right on, man. Anything else you got for us there, Robert?
No, I appreciate it. I like your guys' show. I mean, it's not like, I fished the Delta how I was supposed to fish it, but, man, I did get lucky because I watched your Ken Mott episode when he was on. I was like, man, that's awesome. And I can't believe he doesn't throw a Senko, and I'm over here with like 2 different Senko setups. It's just a different approach on a kayak, though, because he can run and gun those waters.
Yeah.
It's just on a kayak, you got to slow it down, I think.
It was funny too, because half the reason why I told my buddy Curtis, well, I bet you Robert will go drop shot his way to victory, because I was throwing a bubba shot, right, and I'm hitting all these high percentage places. Every time that thing hit the water, boom, there's a fish. What wasn't they weren't some of them were okay, some of them weren't, but it was you just start calling it that bubba shot, and you're like, dude, it's hitting the water, shake, it's either bit or not, reel up to the next one. Yeah. And they were over it, they were eating it like crazy.
Yeah, because I talked to some of the guys that pre-fish in our group chat, and I was like going to Taz, and I was like, you think this bait will work and this will work? It was like, they're like, Robert, just drop shot. You'll do fine. And when I got that impression, they're like, all right, I'm just going to do what I do now.
Yeah.
Oh.
For sure. Yeah. Yep.
Just got to stick to your confidence baits and then pray.
You got to be careful boat flipping them 2-pounders in the Delta. They're heavier than most dudes.
Yeah.
Break rods.
Exactly.
Oh, I snapped a nice rod when I was out there that weekend. It was sad. Sean.
Just go to Walmart and buy those rods. They tend to not break as much.
Dude, I should, man. I should just buy a bunch of ugly sticks and roll with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a good comment, Sean. All those chatterbait fishermen are definitely wondering how the hell it didn't happen.
Well, it's good, but I mean, and majority of the top 10, I mean, some of them were on chatterbait, but it seemed like majority of those guys were punching and frogging like they should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you should do right now, especially with the heat we've had. That's why I went out that 4th of July weekend. It was like 180 degrees out.
Jeez.
I just want to go punch and frog.
Yeah.
Here I am, Bubba shot in the damn toes. I did catch a couple frogfish, though. I felt better, and I did get a couple punch fish. So it wasn't all for nothing. But
we got to bring back to force me to frog. We need to bring back one of those frog derbies to just have a kayak open where frogging only. So
yeah,
that's hard to enforce though, unless you do a specific launcher too.
That's true.
Because you know what I'm saying, you gotta have the tournament director or helper make sure that you're not sneaking in a drop shot.
Yeah, it should
honor
be
system, right? We're all honest.
Two rods, and a case of frogs
I
only.
could say 3. 3. I mean, it depends. Are you allowing a buzzbait with no skirt and a frog? Are you allowing horny toads? You know, you've got your hollow body frogs.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you
We
allowing?
can steal the rule book from one of those other frog bass tournaments.
Yeah, because I mean, dude, like, if you're allowing a buzzbait with no skirt and a frog, that's a rod.
Yeah.
You're gonna have at least 2 to 3 hollow bodies on you. You're gonna have pop the frog and 2 different size, regular frogs, and then you have a horny toad. I mean, at least that's the way I'd go out. But that's just me because I'm stupid and I like to carry 8 million rods. With me.
Max says, "Don't do it. He'll drop shot a frog."
Yeah, no drop shot weights though, Max. No drop
shot tournament. Yeah,
drop shot tournament.
That's funny.
That's just called a regular tournament for me, Sean.
Yeah, no kidding. No. Yeah, dude. Maybe we'll. Yeah, I don't even know if it even happened. It'd have to be like October. Maybe we'll try to have a day where we might meet said ramp and not do a tournament, but go fun fish with frogs.
Yeah, I still haven't caught a frogfish this year.
Little fall frog fishing shindig. That'd be fun. 'Cause I know we're pretty well. It's going to be October before I see the light of day between West Coast Championship, and then we've got BAM on the Delta, and then the TOC for BAM at Berry, which I have never fished Berry with water in it, so that's going to be very interesting. And I may or may not even get a chance to go pre-fish, so we'll see. I'm going to be rolling the dice for that one.
Watch, you'll do well. No pre-fish, you do. Every time I pre-fished this year, I sucked. Every time I winged it, I did way better. I don't know why.
There you go. Hey, guys, next week we're going to have a very special guest. Elite Series Pro Bryant Smith is going to join the show.
Wow.
So
it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, stay tuned next week for that. Thank you, Troy, for setting that up for us. Appreciate that, buddy. So we're gonna talk to him next week, and then we're gonna do we'll do a Clear Lake roundtable. Let me see if we can't get some guys together. Maybe do a Clear Lake roundtable in honor of the West Coast Championship coming up. Kind of talk about what we think it's gonna take, what we think, something like that. We'll figure it out. James, let me know if I can or can't talk about Clear Lake. It is a public forum, even though I'm fishing it. Just give me a yay or nay. I may talk to Brian about it if we're allowed to. So yeah, we'll do something like that. We're gonna sign out here, guys. It's been a long day. I'm tired, and I'm gonna get out there again tomorrow at 3 a.m. So. Heck yeah. Yeah, all right. James gave us the yay. We're going to get some Clear Lake juice from Bryant, and we'll do that round table if we can pull some guys together. Sweet. Thank you, James.
Nice.
Good one, all.
Yeah, man. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next weekend. We'll get the link out and all that nonsense, and I'll catch y'all next week. Don't forget, Hooked 44, all capitals, hookedforlife.com. Headwaters Adventure Company. A huge shout out to Brian for giving us this platform to do the shows. Without his support, we wouldn't be able to do it. I truly appreciate that and kind of letting us run with it. So until next time,